Alright, so remember, not long ago I did a review of this OneUp chain guide. So it mounts up ISCG, it's just got 2 mounting points and just the upper chain guide itself. And what I don't like, if you remember, is I have to run it a little high off the top of the chain because it sits too far this way. It sits too far to the left on the clock. So it's almost at, I guess you'd say it's at 11:30 versus being 12 o'clock. So for me, a chain guide should sit where your chain is still securely positioned on that chain ring. Being that this sits out where the chain's already coming off the chain ring, when it climbs or descends that cassette, it's going left or right, and it's also going up a little bit and down a bit. So as it comes up a little bit, as you go into your 50 tooth cassette, 50 tooth cog, for instance, if this is down to create more security, it rubs on the roof of it. So no good like that. And it's just a design flaw from OneUp with this upper chain guide. Now, the OneUp chain and bash guard. So chain guide, bash guard. It's more or less exactly the same, but they've designed it so the upper guide sits further clockwise in relation to where the mounts are. So it's much better. It's more or less, I think it's going to be the right chain guide and the perfect chain guide to do the job. Going to pull this one off, stick this one on. So I got it from Whippets, $129.99, 130 bucks, can't go wrong. Comes with all your bits and pieces, comes with a couple of different size bashies, depending on what size chainring you run or whether you want a more robust bashie, whatever. The little bits and pieces to adjust it perfectly, and a couple of washers in there and whatnot as well. So pretty cool, pretty simple. Let's put it together. We're back. So we've taken the old one off, put the new one on, and just as I predicted and kind of expected and could tell by looking at them out off of the bike, this is giving me much more chain retention because it is further around. It's further around that way on the, so you can see where the chain comes off that last tooth there. It's still locked into the teeth almost all the way to the end of this guide. So it's not going to be veering all the way to the left up the top of the cassette, and it's not going to be veering all the way to the right down the bottom of the cassette and rubbing. It's got the freedom to move all that way off of the back of this chainring without interfering with this, and it's also got that vertical freedom of movement as well when it goes right up to the top of the 50 tooth or a 51 tooth if you're running the new Shimano gear as well. And from in front you can see, have a look. Whoa, let's have a, get some light happening. Look at that. That gap is minimal. It's probably a millimetre or two above the chain. So perfect chain retention. It's never going to come up and then free itself. So that chain's locked on full time. And I got a bash guard too. So 130 bucks. Probably get them for 120 if you haggle. But it's killer. OneUp chain guide and bash guard. It's definitely a good improvement over the OneUp chain guide itself. Now, saying that, this is for sale now. I obviously don't need it anymore. So if you've got a bike that you want a bit of chain retention, bear in mind it's not going to be the be all end all like this is. It's not going to be quite as secure as that. But it has done me well over the last month or so since I got it, maybe 2 months. So yeah, hit me up. I don't know, 40 bucks. It's 65 bucks. So yeah, 40 bob. Very, very good OneUp killer chain and bash guide, or chain guide, bash guard. Does the job really, really well. I'm impressed. I've taken it for a ride to make sure that it's not rubbing when it goes into that top gear while it's under sag. It's perfect. Everything's perfect. It's great. So it's sitting dead center. Can't get much better.